tides around the world being pushed and pulled by an unseen force that stretches out to the moon. It's the notion that something can happen to anyone. We are all connected, like tides around the world being pushed and pulled by an unseen force that stretches out.
That's great news, Let the Big Dog Eat. I was going to talk about that at the top of the show. We got ours at the same place. All right. Hold on. Let's get some light on the subject, shall we? Yeah, YouTube, I don't know, they keep threatening to shut my stream down every time I play that music. Let's stop doing that. I don't know if it shut it down or not. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. It's your boy. Welcome to the Midday Show every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. right here on the PigskinPeete YouTube channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button. I do these college football videos and live streams pretty much year-round. Well, actually, year-round. Pretty much every day. Right now, I'm up to 7 live shows a week. 6 on here and then 1 on Uncle Lou's channel, the Lunch Money Show. But anyway, I appreciate all of your support. You guys know that I do. Slob Olympics update. 2023 Slob Olympics, Isle of Palm, South Carolina. March 3rd through the 5th. Yesterday, we booked our room at the Seaside Inn. What's the other name of the hotel here? I got so much shit written down over here. I don't even know what's what. Well, I don't know. Whatever. There's 3 hotels. Okay, the Seaside Inn is the one we're staying at. There's another one right next to that. It's called Ocean something. I don't even know. There's only a few hotels on the island, so they're all about the same price. And of course, if you're getting a room right on, or, a hotel right on the beach with public beach access and a pool and all that, you're gonna look. You can plan on spending somewhere between $500 and $600 for 2 nights once you pay for the rooms, the taxes, and the parking. It's I don't even know what we reserved ours for. It was $570 or something for 2 nights. But go ahead and book it now. You can cancel your reservation up to 10 days before the event. So I think as of like February 24th or something is what they said. And you get 100%. Well, they won't charge you. They're not going to charge you till you check in anyway or check out. So go ahead and reserve your room now. What's on the agenda for today? Well, we're going to look at the news. I was just taking a look at the news. One thing in particular caught my eye. We'll talk about that. The radio telescope or whatever that detected some radio signals from space. Now, they've been doing this for a long time. If you guys know what SETI is, SETI is the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, SETI, where they just point these radio telescopes in all different spots in space and try to detect radio signals, intelligent radio signals. There's all kinds of different radio signals, but for instance, this show that I'm doing right now is starting to fly through space. Imagine you're an alien planet and you tap into the Earth's radio signal and you hear PigskinPeete on there. That would be something. But anyway, they've been doing this for a long time. And I guess there's the biggest one is in China, and they've heard something. Whatever that means. So we'll read about that. I mean, on any other, you would think that if we got radio signals that were intelligent or not man-made, but intelligently made from space, that would be the biggest news in the history of the world, wouldn't it? Nope. Buried way down below, who Donald Trump had to pay off for a scandal this time, and we care more about what Johnny Depp and his girlfriend are doing than we do about space. What is going on? What is going on? Oh, speaking of space, after we get to the chat, we're going to have to check in with our favorite flat earther. This one's good. Now, the last one I played for you was just her complaining about how she's being shadow banned from TikTok because she talks about flat earth. She can't understand why when she puts a bikini on, she gets, thousands and thousands of views. And when she talks about flat earth, nobody cares. I'm to the point now where if she's live on TikTok, I just start recording it. I don't even care what she's saying because there's going to be something in there that's funny. So this particular clip that I'm going to play for you today is a gem. She starts out very irritated, perturbed, if you will. She starts out a little bit perturbed, and she gradually gets angrier and angrier until she has a meltdown. And nothing is better than watching somebody have a meltdown on the internet, as far as I'm concerned. Let's see who's in the chat. Matt Dummett's here. Rack Dog. Luke Walker says the new Kenobi episode was fire. I haven't seen any of them, so I wouldn't know. Let the big dog eat. He said he just booked his room at the Seaside Inn. Good man. Rick Sanchez. Yeah. Aliens are trying to check up on our extended car warranty. That's a good point. What's up, Paxton? Slim Shady Canes. Colby. Esso. Esso, what are you doing this afternoon at around 2:30? Clemson's expecting to get a huge commit today, I think at 2:30 in the afternoon. But I don't put any stock in anything until I hear it from them, not from prognosticators. We'll see. Nate the Great. Matt Dummett says it's 90 degrees. Yeah, is everybody surviving out there? It's hotter than the seventh circle of hell. It's got to be close to 100 degrees here. It's got to be. And 100% humidity. Tenny in Love says, where's my love, Uncle Lou? What's up, Battle Angel? Golden Blue Dude, Sir UGA, like the show, bros. VicTube is here. I bet VicTube is extremely excited about this alien contact that we've made, apparently. What's up, Jeff Webster? $94, the 140, yeah. All right. So before we get to the news segment, I'm going to go ahead and play our favorite flat earther. So just enjoy. I may stop for commentary because I normally do.
All right. Can I get some mods? I'm getting irritated. School taught us literally nothing. Wasted 13 years. You didn't go to school. You believe this flat. Fucking... Nobody listens to my point. This is why girls don't like men going on dates, because this is what you have to deal with.
I don't even know what she's talking about there. This is why girls don't like going on dates with men. Well, because they want to talk about something other than the Earth being flat. I don't understand. She does seem to hate men, though. She's a man hater.
Everybody went to school. We all learned the same thing. Some of us are smart enough to look deeper than the surface. Thanks. It's a lot. I put out a couple good videos today, and I'm good for the day. I'm just gonna wait for whatever happens, and I don't know. But I've got so many bots and so many low vibrational. I'm trying to talk to people that I actually want to talk to. Thank you guys. school video right on point. Yeah, and people will still say, oh my God, she skipped school. It's the dumbest comment. I would rather them say, at least she's pretty, and I would rather them say those other stupid ass comments they make. Like, don't you know, like, I don't even know. Anything but that. It just makes no sense, because what I'm saying is that school is teaching a lie. So you telling me to go to school is telling me to go learn the lie that I am trying to counter. My ring light died. So, and my phone's charging, so I can't set it to stay where the fuck it's at.
Whoa, what was that? Did she fart? I don't think I heard that the first time.
Fucking charging, so I can't set it to stay where the fuck it's at. This isn't gonna work. This is why I go in my car. All right, I'm not. Just stop asking me stupid ass shit. You're getting blocked. I'm getting irritated as fuck with these men.
Now she started. See, you can't see the chat, but what goes on in the chat is, you know, it's a bunch of guys in there going, where are the bikini videos that you used to put up, or what is this shit, you know? Well, I'm about to unfollow you if you don't make another bikini video. So she just gets like, she gets really irritated with all the bikini comments and the boob comments, and she starts to, you know, after a couple of minutes of that, she starts to freak out.
I'm not a webcam model right now, okay? You're not, I'm not getting paid to rate your profile picture. I'm not rating you. I'm talking about flat earth. I'm talking about things that actually matter. If anybody asks me to do some dumbass shit that you would pay a webcamer to do, I'm blocking you. I don't want men on here. I don't want perverted men on here. I have no desire to talk to you. I wish I could just filter all of them out. I want to talk to people that are high vibrational. I didn't ask you to be here. I don't want you here. Go watch Pornhub. Like, that's not, like, I'm not even getting paid for this. Like, don't ask.
You say go watch Pornhub. Yeah, Big Two, when this is over with, there's 2 minutes and 58 seconds left of this video. If we make it all the way through this. Because she even gets more mad towards the end. But yeah, I'll play one of her bikini videos for you. Why not?
To do shit like that. You can Venmo me $500 and then I'll rate your profile picture. My Venmo is JRLH1313.
Yeah, high vibrational.
We spread the truth. We get the knowledge. We spread the knowledge. And then you're gonna get your people. A lot of people. People don't know how many people like me are out there, flat earthers. A lot of people don't have any idea, but they're afraid to talk about it because they don't want to get made fun of. This, you can only like do this if you have confidence. Like, you cannot be doing this if you don't have thick skin, because like everyone's gonna hate you. So many people are gonna hate you.
She's wanting to talk about thick skin. She gets irritated and starts yelling at people within 2 seconds of her live stream starting. It takes no time at all to get under her skin.
Hate you, and you can't care. But the reason like that what will get you to be able to do this is to know the truth deep inside. Like, if you just know and your soul knows, then you're fine. And that's what happened to me. Like, in the beginning, when I first made my first video, I literally hold on. When I made my first video, I wasn't 100%. Like, my spirit wasn't what it is now, so I was still kind of like, I feel like I'm gonna get all this hate. But then when I had the spiritual awakening, and now I laugh at you. I laugh at you. I laugh at the Minuteman. I laugh at all these little whatever. They're probably paid by the government. Like, I don't care about your opinion. I didn't ask for it. Post your videos, I'll post mine. And this is the thing, like, people are like, oh dude, you both are roasted or you roasted. He's a fucking idiot.
What? What did she say?
Mine. And this is the thing, like, people are like, oh dude, you both are roasted or you roasted.
I'm definitely making that a stinger. Whatever that, I don't even know what she says, but it's funny as hell.
Paid by the government. Like, I don't care about your opinion. I didn't ask for it. Post your videos, I'll post mine. And this is the thing, like, people are like, oh dude, you both are roasted or you roasted. He's a fucking idiot. Sorry. Literally
what?
Talking about the ocean is the container and the earth is a ball in a ball. It's not a flat. Like, you're stupid as hell. And then you're saying the oceans don't lay flat. Okay, cool, dude. cool, get a haircut or something.
What?
I just can't deal with it. It's like, okay, I am posting my thoughts. I am posting my knowledge, and I'm trying to reach the truth, okay? And that's what I'm doing. What are you doing? You're taking other people's videos, not tagging them, using them for views, and making fun of their beliefs. Is that not the most negative, low vibrational thing I've ever seen in my life? Like, maybe go do a skincare routine and then you can come talk to me. It's rude.
What?
You're gonna...
First she said the guy needs to get a haircut. Then she said go get a skincare routine. I think she's talking about a glober. You know, a globie, as she would call him. You know, a guy who goes on TikTok and talks about how flat earthers are wrong. And she's mad at him for that.
Your entire persona is making fun of people's beliefs. What am I doing? I'm posting my thoughts and my feelings and my knowledge and my spiritual connection. That's what I'm posting. And I'm getting hate for it. Okay, then why don't you go make a video telling me why it's a globe? Oh, you can't. Okay, you can't. All you can say is, oh, go to put a candle. Go put a What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Actual dumbass. And he's gonna call me a dumbass. Like, quality over quantity, dude. I can't deal with that shit.
All right, that's... You know, what's unfortunate is that I wasn't going to sit there and record all day. This, you know, I got what a couple minutes out of it so I could show you guys her freaking out. But as soon as I stopped recording it, like 30 seconds later, she goes on a rampage about, like, some guy or somebody in the chat said something to her about, you're just doing these flat earth videos for views. And she's like, if I wanted to get views, I would just put on a bikini and jump up and down for 5 minutes. And I would get 500 new followers in 10 minutes. And they're like, yeah, go ahead and do that. Anyway. Oh, you guys wanted to see one of her old videos? Let me pull up TikTok here. Yeah, I'll show it to you.
So CJ wants to put trash bags and stuff in my crab pots. I got one of these.
All right, let's see if I can find her.
So you want to know what I think of Elon Musk being a...
Can I just... Here it is. Uh-oh, did she take her bikini videos down? I sure hope not. Looks like she might have. Uh-oh, she got mad about all the bikini comments, and I think she might have taken them down. No, she's too vain for that, right? Yeah. No, it can't be. Oh, I see what it is. She just she unpinned them. I think they're still in here. Yes. Okay. All right. Hold on. This is ridiculous. Shit. What did I do? All right. Here we are. You ready? These days now. No, here you go. Now she can't figure out, like, this one has 800,000 views or 799,000 views. She can't figure out why this video here gets almost 1 million views, and when she rambles on and yells at people about flat earth, it only gets like 500. What's this? Where's the sound at? Maybe it was just try this one.
Show your baggy fit, then show what's underneath.
Desperado. Sitting in a old Monte Carlo.
Show.
Uh-oh. Better without the sound.
Show your cat a... Oh my god, if you ever need a confidence boost, just film yourself first thing in the morning, then again 6 hours later.
Put out the pink Lamborghini, just a race with China, with the race.
Oh,
okay.
All men, but when he loves...
Daily reminder social...
What?
I just...
Okay. I think you get the idea. All right. Look at this comment right here. Anyway, this guy, the first comment was, "My mother has a son who would be interested in you." All right. You guys get the idea. Oops. All right. Well, after that riveting segment there, let's see what's in the news, shall we? Breaking news from the PigskinPeete YouTube channel. All right. Does anybody here have any cryptocurrency? I know some people have got really rich off of messing with the Bitcoin thing, and then a bunch of people have lost a bunch of money messing with the Bitcoin thing. I have so little understanding about, how to do that or what exactly that it is. I mean, I know what it is, but I don't really have a deep understanding of it. But anyway, it seems like every day I'm hearing somebody's losing a bunch of money messing with it. So I'm scared of it. Rick does. Your wife is into it? Ethereum, Dogecoin, Bitcoin. Well, that's awesome if she did great in it. I don't know. Like, I don't want to, put $1,000 in it and you lose it. I'm scared. I'm a big scaredy cat. Anyway. Egyptian relic found in Californian sand dune. Along California's picturesque coastline, archaeologists meticulously dig away at the sprawling sand. Soon enough, they hit something. As the team exhumes the lost relic, it becomes clear that their find is not merely a cast-off from the ocean, nor does it fit with the state's history. Instead, the 300-pound artifact seems to be from halfway across the world. Can you tell us what it is? It doesn't even say what it is. I mean, a relic is what they say it is. All right, they're not going to tell us what it is. Forget about it. It's a relic. That's all we need to know. What the fuck? SpaceX's Starship is closer to orbital launch after the FAA ends environmental review. Is that the same one that got hit with the space rock? No, that was a telescope. That's clickbait. I really want to click it, though. It almost worked. Experts find missing submarine with 80 sailors. That's just an ad, though. There's no story there. Florida executive wanted for fraud is nabbed on a jet ski bound for Cuba. Damn. This guy hopped on a jet ski to he's going to go to Cuba to flee the law. Sounds like some James Bond shit there. A Florida man awaiting trial for allegedly submitting more than $4 million in fraudulent health care claims was detained on a jet ski as he tried to vamoose to Cuba. Ernesto Cruz Graveron, a 54-year-old Cuban citizen, owned Zico Enterprises, Inc., a company based in Hialeah that provided equipment to Medicare beneficiaries, according to a criminal complaint filed by the court in Florida. Blah, blah, blah. As a result of claims for medical equipment he had never provided, Graveron received a payout of $2.1 million over just 2 months in 2022, feds say. So he was doing a little scam there. A little Medicare scam. And he got caught. And he took off on a jet ski bound for Cuba. I mean, riding a jet ski is fun and all, but in the open ocean for 90 miles, I don't know about that. That would be rough. That could be rough. Officials, what does it say? U.S. Customs and Border Protection and U.S. Coast Guard officers found Graveron just south of Key West on a broken down jet skis 90 miles away from his final destination. So he didn't even make it. I mean, he barely made it out of Florida before he broke down. The jet ski was strapped with special fuel meant for extended trips and a trove, in quotations, of food and water bottles. Well, he's not going to get a bail now or a bond because he's a flight risk. It's funny. He should have just paid whatever those people are that smuggle people in from Cuba. He should have paid them to smuggle him into or out of whatever. You know what I'm saying? Back into Cuba. What? German Shepherd sneaks inside of gorilla enclosure at San Diego Zoo Safari Park. Oh, there's a video too.
Need to be dad to the max? BC Max. Try BC Max in great tasting lemonade. Nothing stronger on pain without a prescription. Be your best. BC Max.
There's a dog in here, the gorillas are after it.
Oh my god.
No. Oh, don't come down here. Hey, the dog's coming down here, guys.
Hurry.
Go down the steps right here. Look at the steps. Look at the steps. Hoagie.
Good job, don't go down.
There's steps over there. The dog will go down.
Shit.
There you go. So he just went down.
You want to treat it? Come on. No.
Okay.
Do you struggle?
So, did the dog get out? I mean, what kind of bullshit video is that? Yeah, they got out. German Shepherd was rescued from a zoo enclosure after being chased by gorillas. No animal staff or zoo guests were harmed. All right. Happy ending. Did somebody bring their dog to the zoo? I mean, what was the dog doing there? Maybe it's a service animal. The dog is okay. Okay. World's most deadly snake discovered in the U.S. That's good news. Unexploded World War II era bomb dug up in yard, evacuating Iowa neighborhood. Wow. Why was there... Well, you know, that's a stupid question. Sorry. Mrs. P was talking to me. Panama City Beach temporarily closes portion of beach overnight to deter unruly pop-up events. What? What's a pop-up event? Now I got to click it. Oh, unruly late night gatherings I guess they're called pop-up events. To prevent unruly late night gatherings, local officials have closed the 1/4 mile portion of the beach overnight. Why is that even news? Cares. Video of kneeling 12-year-old girl slapped in the face over 20 times by teens goes viral in Hong Kong. What? All right. They got me on this one. A 12-year-old victim kneeled as a group of teenagers aged 12 to 19 took turns slapping her across the face on the rooftop of a 5-story building in Lin Yang Street in Sen Wan. Shortly before 5:30 p.m. on Saturday, the video, the victim, who's dressed in a white top, a black hoodie, and blue jeans, does not attempt to avoid any of the 21 slaps that she endures. The teenager speaks in Mandarin and Cantonese throughout the filmed assault. Half of the Hong Kong people hate the victim. Oh, this is the victim saying this. Hold on. All right. Anyway, half of the Hong Kong people hate. One attacker can be heard saying, "How dare she come back to Hong Kong?" Another person says. "Hit harder," can also be heard from one of the teenagers in the video. So they're mad at her for something. A victim was taken to a hospital to treat injuries she sustained during the attack. The 12-year-old was suspected of leaving provocative messages online that had offended the 15-year-old girl, who was the first to slap the victim in the video. She is reportedly known as the big sister of a suspected juvenile gang in Sen Wan. So she got slapped by some gang members? That takes cyberbullying to a whole new level, doesn't it? House falls into Yellowstone River amid flooding. Yeah, so I've heard about this. They're out there in Montana and the surrounding areas. They've had so much rain up there. They've been having a bunch of mudslides and floods. And I did see a video earlier of a bridge that collapsed because the water just got too high and took the bridge out. And this one says, holy hell, look at that.
dirt and debris ahead of the blades for an effortless shave in one efficient stroke.
Damn. Look at that. They weren't lying. Let's see that again. Damn. There's another house right there. See it right above it? This white house up here? That one's next. What's happening is it's the floodwaters are eroding the shoreline here. And that house was really close, obviously right on the shoreline. So it just eroded it away, and the house literally just fell in there. I guess maybe that one back there is probably far enough away it doesn't have to worry about it. But I'd still be, I'd be getting the hell out of there. I'll tell you that right now. Especially if I just saw that house go in. Yeah, I hope they got State Farm. But bring the insurance adjuster out and say, well, what's wrong with the house? Well, it's not here anymore. That's what's wrong with it. It's about 5 miles down the river. Okay. I shouldn't be laughing. That's terrible. I mean, whoever's house that was. Like I said, one of the biggest stories in all of news right now should be this radio signals that we're getting from space that we've been looking for 40 years and finally found. But no. Let's talk about Nancy Pelosi's husband's DUI. That's important. So, people escaping extreme flooding in Yellowstone Park narrowly miss being crushed by a rockfall. Is there a video of that? Yes, there is. I think. No, that's just a picture. Damn it. Look at this. Related story. Ohio woman, 25 years old, gored and tossed 10 feet into the air by a bison at Yellowstone National Park. There's been a lot of, attacks in the past year or so at Yellowstone. One guy it was either one guy or two guys. Well, I know one of them got killed by a bear. I'm assuming a grizzly or a brown bear or whatever they have out there. And now this woman got gored by a bison. Which one would be worse? Would you rather be eaten by a bear or gored by a bison? And there's what the bison looks like. So, just in case you didn't know, it's a buffalo, basically. Two other individuals also came within 25 yards of the bison involved in Monday's attack. Visitors at Yellowstone National Park are required to remain more than 25 yards away from the bison. That's it? 25 yards? I mean, bison, they run like a 4.25 at the combine, bro. I mean, they'll be there in no time. 25 yards is not enough. I wouldn't get within 25 yards of one of those things out in the wild. Hell no. Monday's attack is the first reported incident in 2022 of a visitor getting too close to a vision and the bison responding to the threat by goring the individual. Oh, that's just the first time it's happened this year. Happens all the time. In general, visitors are asked to stay at least 25 yards away from all large animals, including elk, bighorn sheep, deer, moose, coyotes. For bears and wolves, visitors are required to maintain at least 100 yards in distance. Well, apparently 25 yards is not enough for bison either, so they need to probably change that recommendation as well. Oh, listen to this. The Yellowstone, they released a statement, and they want everybody to know, just in case you didn't know. Wildlife in Yellowstone National Park are wild and can be dangerous when approached. Yeah, it's a big fucking zoo with no fences. I mean... I wonder what the rules are of carrying a firearm in Yellowstone. I guess you could. I guess there's no reason you can't, but I mean, it is a national park, though. So I don't know what the rules are there. I mean, if I was able to carry some sort of protection just in case, if that bison starts charging you, at least if you shoot it a couple times, I mean, it might not kill it, but it'd probably deter it from charging you anymore. Yeah, wild animals are wild. Breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news from the PigskinPeete YouTube channel. Wild animals are wild. You guys know how I feel about wild animals. Don't even get me started. Now, but at least those are actually in the wild. Okay, I don't have a problem with wild animals being in the wild. That's where they should be. I have a huge problem, however, with them being in people's homes. But don't even get me started with it. I can't take it. All right. That's going to do it for the news today, folks. So for the second portion of the show, I will open up the StreamYard. The link is in the description of the video. Yes, Battle Angel. We all know how Pete feels about wild animals. How come there's two Nate the Greats in here? I don't know which one's which. All right, that's the one. Okay. Gentlemen.
Yeah.
What's going on?
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Yourself?
I'm amazing and fantastic. Volusia Orange, the radio telescope or whatever that found these signals from space is actually located in China. It's the biggest one in the world.
Yes.
Are you familiar with it?
Vaguely. I can't tell you a whole lot about it because I've been spending the last 10 years anticipating the James Webb Space Telescope.
Yes.
Which is amazing and awesome. And I think within the next month or two, we're going to get some really interesting, very specific views of exoplanets. And I think that it might give us a really, a much more in-depth view of whether or not there is alien life and how common it might be and things like that. And I think it's something that we should all be looking forward to. The James Webb Space Telescope is awesome.
Yeah, I think
to China's credit, they've done some cool stuff with their astronomy program over the last few years, but they're not NASA.
Yeah, right. So this telescope is supposed to start sending images back, I believe, next month or something?
Pretty soon. Yep. Yep. It's at Lagrange point 2, so it's about 1 million miles from Earth.
Yeah.
It's in a position where it's behind the moon, which sort of blocks some certain ultraviolet rays from the sun. And the way it's designed, they try to keep it as cold as possible and as free from any sort of light interference, so that it can see out the depths of the universe, which is really cool.
That is cool. So they're using the moon basically as like a shield from light pollution. That's cool. And it's supposed to look for exoplanets, huh? Or what?
A number of different things. It's looking for a lot of things, but I think exoplanets are the things that a lot of the astronomers are most excited about, because exoplanets are really hard because they don't give off light themselves, right? So the only way that they could detect them is by
the shadow that they cast on the star, right?
Dimming of starlight, like a 1% dimming of starlight once those planets cross over the star's path. But we're talking about stars that are dozens or hundreds of light years away. And so you get really a limited amount of information given the technology we had before this. But I think that this is going to really, really open our eyes up to a lot of stuff in that regard.
Yeah, that is cool. That is the one that got hit by the meteoroid, but it's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fine. I mean, the meteoroid was only a few microns across.
Yeah.
I think
but it was traveling at like 20,000 miles an hour or something.
That's the problem, right? That's the problem with the space debris, right? You know, there's a lot of these broken up, busted up satellite parts flying around because Elon Musk and China and a bunch of other people are just shooting satellites up into Earth's orbit willy nilly, and they don't give a damn about all the trash they're creating, which actually causes a huge problem. Anyway.
Yeah, very cool stuff. But so I did read the article about the radio signal that they got. And they don't even, they don't know what it is.
Of course.
They say it could be some sign of natural phenomenon, but I guess what they're really looking for is some sort of sustained radio signal from somewhere, not something that just intermittently pops up for a couple of seconds and goes away.
So there was a big signal that was actually, ironically, observed by Ohio State University in the late 70s called the WOW signal. It's a really strong signal at 1450 megahertz. I know, right? Ohio State of all places, but it was never repeated. But that, up until this particular incident, was the most significant or the most likely signal of alien origin ever recorded. But this one is really interesting too.
What's up, Slim?
What's up, Slim?
I think they need to focus on finding intelligent life on this planet first.
Well, they've been looking for that for centuries. They're never going to find that.
Right.
We're kind of dumb.
Yeah, we're trying to find intelligent life elsewhere because we need help.
I mean, they fly down here and they see TikTok and they see that chick on there and they go, "Oh, Jesus Christ!" They still think the Earth's flat. We're getting the fuck out of here.
All right,
let's get out of here.
If the Earth's flat, which is not,
right?
If the Earth is flat, it would be like, if you see oceans, it will be like a. So oceans will go down, and when you, it's kind of like a waterfall. If you think about it,
the water doesn't. Well, because the water doesn't fall off the Earth.
No, that's not.
No, it's because Antarctica is actually an ice wall, right. Don't you know?
So that's what that chick kept saying is, she has a terrible way of explaining her points, but I've somehow tuned into her wavelength and I know what she's saying. Well, she keeps talking about water in a container. So according to her, water would just fall off the Earth if it was a ball, because she doesn't understand gravity and atmosphere.
No.
But
there are only 2 points that she's capable of explaining.
But she's saying that the Earth is actually like a container. So like he was saying, there's an ice wall around it. So that's sort of like the sides of the container that holds the water in. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, it's going to take her about another 20 years to finally understand gravity when them shits are hanging down to her teeth.
or even centuries. I don't know.
Well, you got it, Slim. That's right.
Yeah.
She'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, somehow. This whole not a great deal that I saw, Peete. He's my evil twin. So he likes the Huskers. I like the Wolverines. If you know what I mean.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So he's not a 2-teamer.
No, he's a 1-teamer.
All right. That's good.
Yeah. But I don't know who it is. I think it's Troll Count, but it's calling my evil twin.
So Jordan, what's the big commit we're supposed to get today? Is that the Burley guy?
Yep.
Vic Burley?
Yep.
Who's
2
that?
p.m. 5-star defensive lineman from Warner Robins.
Shit.
Yep.
So
I hope he gets run over by a buffalo.
Jordan, what do you know about the decommit, the receiver kid from Miami who decommitted? Do you have any?
Oh, Joseph. Yeah, Ray. Yeah, that was a long time coming.
Is that about like a depth chart thing or offering other receivers?
No. He commit. He was our first commit in this class. Right. He committed last year, and he's grown. I mean, he's a South Florida kid, and he grew up a Miami fan. But the previous staff at Miami, Manny Diaz, they didn't want him. He was too small. So they didn't really. He expressed interest, and they didn't really reciprocate. And he committed, and so Clemson showed him a lot of love, so he committed. And then, obviously Mario Cristobal comes in, new staff, and they start pushing hard for him and start showing interest. And he has a lot of his family. He has a lot of people in his circle that want him to stay home. His head coach is Uncle Luke.
Yeah.
So he had a lot of pressure to decommit and go to Miami. And he started taking, Dabo has that policy, you can't take visits if you're already committed. And he started taking secret visits and, hanging out at wearing Miami gloves at events and stuff. And so this past official visit weekend, he came in and they had a talk. I've heard some rumors about how it went down, but they had a talk, and more or less Dabo was like, you need to decommit.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty much done. So he just tweeted today that it was like, no, Clemson's not out of it, but I think that's just a formality. Yeah,
I saw his tweet, and there's nothing I hate more than paying attention to the Twitter accounts of 17-year-olds. It's embarrassing that I even do it, but he said something to the effect of, some things went down that me and my family were unhappy with. I assume that it's that. Right.
I think Dabo was pretty stern with him during the visit and probably said some things. I mean, he probably wasn't very nice about it. Because he wasn't. I know. I mean, he knew everyone. He knew about it. It wasn't like, but and so I guess they had a little bit of a one-sided argument and said. Right.
Well, that raises the question for me, and this is not just about that Dabo's policy about after you're committed taking no other visits, but also the NIL and other things. Like I'm asking Pete, Jordan, and anybody else, like, do at what point does Dabo sort of need to relax his hardline stance on these sort of things to get in line with the rest of the coaches? And on what level is it something that we benefit from uniquely? Like, where do you guys stand on that?
So I mean, me personally, we're already starting to see Dabo, make some changes. I mean, he just had 31 official visits 2 weeks ago, 31 official visitors in the summer, for pretty much for the first time ever, because he used to just not do any sort of June official visits. And so, you're starting to see that kind of stuff. But like, as far as the no visit policy, I'm kind of, I see, like, I don't hate it, because a lot of people get hung up on, Dabo doesn't want the kids to do what they want. He doesn't want them to, but it's a two-way street. When a kid commits to Clemson, Clemson doesn't offer anybody else for his spot.
True.
The whole philosophy is you commit to us, we commit to you. We won't recruit over you, and it's that kind of, they want the commitment to matter, and I totally understand that. So, when people get hung up on that kind of stuff, I'm like, well, what does a commitment mean if it doesn't matter? I mean, Clemson doesn't.
You're not committed, right?
Yeah.
I agree with the point you're making, Jordan, but I think the way college football is changing and has changed, it's a little too hard line of a stance to take in this day and age.
It's working so.
It's worked so far.
Yeah, people and it's still working now. I mean, the people point to the times where it doesn't benefit Clemson and say, that's where Dabo, he messed up. He's not changing with the times. It's hurting Clemson.
Now, whether it's
had 8 commitments the last 8.
Whether it's true or not doesn't really matter. But he believes that it actually helps the recruiting. out because he's telling these kids, we want a real commitment, and like Jordan said, and we'll commit to you too. And he'll use that as a tool. Because this is what he does. Maybe it's sort of a negative type of recruiting, but he'll say, well, it's all these other places, they're casting a wide net. They don't really care who they get. They just make a bunch of offers, and they hope that a certain percentage of them will commit. He said, we want 100% commitment from 100% of our guys.
Right.
We're not.
The problem is pre-letter of intent that leaves us open to be picked off by slimy scumbags like Jimbo Fisher and Uncle Luke and whoever else is out there, and they're more of them by the day. So.
I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, most of the commits we have honor that. We don't encourage, which is why Clemson doesn't encourage.
Okay, here's the problem with this whole conversation. It is the comment that he just made. If you think Dabo Swinney has never done some backhanded shit in recruiting, you're delusional. If you think he is some white knight in college football, you're out of your mind.
Oh,
I didn't say that, but.
That's not what I was implying. All right.
That's exactly what was implied by it.
Not exactly, but I do think that he does things in a more above board way than a lot of people do.
I think that's his public persona, but so is Bobby Bowden's, and I guarantee you there's some horror stories about him too.
They're probably. I'm not saying that Dabo runs a squeaky clean recruiting operation, but I do think some aspects of recruiting, his recruiting philosophy is a little more honest than others. Like the whole non-committable offer thing that most schools do
exactly
is ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense.
It is. It's basically saying we want you. A lot of these schools are pretty much saying we want you to commit to our university, but we have the ability to revoke our offer. Basically, is what they're saying. If we fill your spot with somebody better, then you have to hit the road, Jack.
Yeah, they'll tell kids. No, they'll offer a kid and be like, "We're not going to take it now because we want. We're still trying to figure out stuff." And there's a guy that I mean, they don't say that explicitly, but that's exactly what they're doing. They're saying,
"And Dabo's literally never done
here's
that."
Your offer, but don't commit now.
He's never gray-shirted a kid.
And I believe that Slim is right in a certain way. I think Dabo Swinney and every coach really is guilty of negative recruiting. Now, there's different levels to that, but I guarantee you he's out there telling Alabama guys, hey, man, Nick Saban's going to be gone in a couple of years. Come to Clemson.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and I absolutely guarantee that Dabo used the investigation against Miami back in, 2013, 14?
Well, he didn't have to. All he had to say was look at him.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, you take that shit away. Al Golden was actually a decent hire, considering what he had done as head coach up to that point.
And he recruited well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even despite that, he recruited well. You're right. I mean, so did Manny.
Paxton says Lincoln Riley's the worst at it. He's got a bad reputation, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about Lincoln Riley. Yeah.
I've heard Dave Dorn is the worst about it.
Yeah, I could see that.
And I even agree.
He negative recruits to Carolina all the time, and it never works because we get every recruit we offer that we're competing against NC State for.
Dave Dorn is a joke.
And I even agree to the point that Dabo's probably more above board than the vast majority of coaches.
Right. Okay. We're on the same page.
I mean, I'm not saying he's I'm not saying he's Urban Meyer or Jimbo Fisher by any means.
Right. So we agree, Slim. I mean, I'm not saying he's a sweet, clean angel or anything like that, but I do feel like he does things more above board and in a more honest way than the majority of at least major college coaches do.
He's blunt and upfront with recruits about what where he doesn't. If he offers a kid, it's a genuine offer. It's a committable offer. You can take it right now, but we'll take your commitment right now. Which is why
he's not going to pull the rug out. He's not pulling the rug out under any kid.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I do think it's a little naive to.
Maybe.
I think it's a little naive and it's worked for him. Not saying it doesn't work, but I think it's a little naive to. Like you said, he throws an offer to just say a wide receiver, for example, and he doesn't recruit that wide receiver position anymore. I think that's a little naive because you're going off the word of a 17-year-old, which I think is kind of dumb.
Right, and so that's kind of the point I was making. Like, I mean, on some level, it's kind of noble. It's I don't noble maybe isn't the right word, but it's it's above board saying we commit to you, commit to us, and that's the reason why I posed the question is given the current complete and utter sliminess of the recruiting game in 2022 and for the foreseeable future, is that a naive way to do it, and should he sort of alter that?
Here's my main thing when people talk about this. Recruiting is not Clemson's problem. I mean, if they got 99 problems, recruiting ain't one. So, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And whatever he's doing seems to be working. If it stops working, then I'll say that Sweeney needs to change his stance or what. But until then, I mean, he seems.
You don't want we're on pace for a top 5 class right now. We just lost a ton of our coaching staff, and we're on our way to a top 5 class.
I mean,
now, no doubt, I think the unproven parts of the coaching staff are the bigger concern at Clemson.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
on the field, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
this staff can recruit.
Yeah,
I think we might be suffering from a bit of anxiety given the ineptitude of our offense last season, and then also, let's be frank, there's no guarantee that we're going to return to any sort of proficiency on offense this coming season, right?
There's no guarantee. I think
I feel like we all feel a little bit. We all, Clemson's preseason number 4, number 5, and that makes us feel good. But Jordan and Pete, I feel like that could happen, but I'm not so sure about it.
Well,
I mean, just considering if you consider all the things that went wrong, on the field last year, from that were out of our control, that you hope is not as it doesn't pile on like injuries and stuff hopefully it doesn't pile on like it did last year. That was probably the most banged up Clemson team I've seen.
Here's my thing. They don't have to have a top 5 offense. And I don't think anybody's making the claim that they're going to.
I don't think we will.
You just don't improve that much in one off season. But much like Georgia last year, their defense is going to be good enough to help carry what I think will probably be a better offense than they had last year.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
there should be on paper. We return everybody on the offensive line. We get some guys back from injury on the offensive line. The receivers are. I'm a little concerned about the receivers, but we have some new faces that I think will inject some life into that room. Our running backs are phenomenal.
The offense for the majority of the last season was so incompetent that it doesn't really take much of an improvement to look like a big improvement. So,
and if we were just average at times last year, we probably would have only lost 1 game.
But gentlemen, we were also a tick away from losing the Louisville game, the Florida State game, and maybe other.
Yeah, we were a tick away of winning a couple of those that we lost too, though. Like the NC State game, even the Georgia game. I mean, that pick six. Without that pick six,
and even the Pitt game, Will Shipley dropped a touchdown pass, and that would have tied the game, and we.
And I made this point the other day. They don't miss a field goal, and one pass doesn't get tipped, and all of a sudden Miami's 9-3 last
year.
Yeah. I mean, any team can say
for 90% of the country.
Yeah, any team can say ball bounces this way, that way. We have a different record. I mean, that's just football. But
I'm not even talking about like 1 or 2 plays. I'm just talking about just being, just overall like. If we were an average offense, instead of a below, I think we got to a decent offense by the end of the year. But if we had started the season average would have been good enough to beat NC State last year, with the way that our defense was playing.
I think that we were a bad offense throughout the entire season last year.
I don't think we were a bad offense the entire season. No.
Really?
The first 6 or 7 games, absolutely.
Yeah, we're better. Definitely the last 3 games. Yeah.
I think we were. You could consider us a competent offense. We weren't maybe not in the passing game, but we ran the ball.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's exactly right. We were able to run the ball well.
Yeah.
Well, we were basically in average offense, you probably would have won the Georgia game, and the whole college football season looks different.
Yeah, well, you got to give credit to Georgia on that. I mean, the ukulele had no chance in that game. He was a sitting duck.
It was.
I mean, you got to think. I mean, we were in the red zone. We could have tied the game, and we passed the ball on four straight possession or something like that. Or no, we were down 10-0, and we passed the ball on 3 straight downs, kicked a field goal, and we were never got back within, striking.
I thought they scored the field goal early in the game.
No, because Georgia went 10-0, then we hit a field goal, and then no one scored again.
Oh, okay.
You see, I think Georgia scored on that pick six at the end of the first half, and then they hit a field goal sometime in the third quarter, and then we hit a field goal, and that was it.
Well, to answer some questions in the chat here. First of all, what's up, everybody that's showing up since I did cheers to the chat? Thank you all for joining. Paxton wants to know, this is a very common question, and I don't really think anybody really knows, but he says, who is going to be Clemson's quarterback?
What time of year are we talking?
Well, we know that DJ's starting the season. I mean, that's just the way it is, and I think he's kind of auditioning for his job.
I'm gonna be honest. I see 2018 happening again. I see the first 4 games, DJ and club battling it out half of each game.
That seems to be the consensus amongst most people.
You see what happening again?
2018, like what happened with Kelly Bryant, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. So if 2018 happens again, I owe you a beer.
So,
hey, I think our defense is on par with 2018.
Well,
but
I'm just talking about how the quarterback situation.
Yeah, he's talking about the quarterback situation.
I know what you mean.
I don't know where T. Higgins and Justin Ross are on the receiver corps, but sure.
Hey, that's the same question.
We have dudes at receiver.
Yeah.
It's not like we don't have talent at receiver.
I also don't think Cade Klubnik is Trevor Lawrence.
Every bit of the potential to be as good as as 2014 or the 2018 D-line. They have that potential.
Yeah. This is they're probably deeper than 14 was really deep. 18 was like our top 4 were just insane. I mean, we had some guys behind him, but it wasn't.
Luke, I don't think anybody's making the argument that Cade Klubnik is Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, nobody's Trevor Lawrence. So it's like, I mean, the guy, though, his resume stacks up to Trevor Lawrence up to this point. I mean, the guy never lost a high school game.
Winning-wise in high school, yeah.
Well, you got to look at the high school team he was on too. But I mean,
talent-wise, no.
He played in a 5A high school league, a big-time high school football in Texas,
and won easily the most talented team. But he's still a good quarterback.
And won 3 straight national state championships, not national championships.
All things considered, I'll take it. You know what? I'll give him a shot.
And Klubnik is not nearly physically as ready as Lawrence, but like Klubnik he's put on some weight.
I was gonna say
I've seen him recently. He looks bigger, but
I'd say by October or November, middle of the season, he's going to be probably another 15 pounds heavier than he is now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's not a little. That's the other thing. Trevor Lawrence was pretty skinny when he came into Clemson. He was tall, but
he wasn't below 200 pounds. He was still like 210.
He's 6'5" or whatever. So I mean that's pretty light for that height. Yeah. But Klubnik he's by no means a little guy. I mean he needs to put on some weight, but he's definitely not a little guy.
He's not quite as filled out as, say, TVD, because Tyler Van Dyke's 6'4", 220.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, he's also a junior and not a freshman.
And the ukulele was what, 250 last year?
I'd say he's probably closer to 260.
Yeah, he was a little pudgy.
Yeah, he gained some weight, and
he's lost a bunch of weight. I'll give him that.
At the end of the year, he looked like offensive tackle.
Yeah.
It probably looked worse because of his knee.
I'm sad that I'm willing. Obviously, Dabo's willing to give DJU another chance, and I feel
he
can be a very good quarterback. We've seen him be an extremely effective quarterback in his freshman year when Trevor had COVID. And I don't know what percentage of it was physical, what percentage of it was mental last year with his struggles. But I feel like I'm really intrigued to see how he comes out. But the spring game, if the spring game was any indicator,
Yeah, it's hard to tell with him.
He'll be the UCLA quarterback next year.
He definitely looks better physically, no doubt. I mean he's. But my issue with DJ is not so much. I mean, he's going to be a little bit more mobile because he's not injured, and I think he'll probably Well, he'll definitely, know the X's and O's part better and be more comfortable in this offense now just through experience. My issue with DJ is his mechanics are awful.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch him throw the football. He throws it like he's throwing a baseball. And I know he's a baseball player, but that's the reason he's so inaccurate.
Throw the ball kind of like how Josh Allen used to.
Honestly, it's not even really his throwing, like his arm, like the way he throws with his arm. It's just when he gets off balance, like he has awful footwork. Like you watch him, it does not, like he does not move his feet very well.
Yeah, the footwork's terrible too.
When he gets off balance, it goes out. His accuracy and everything goes out the window.
But if you look at the accurate quarterbacks throughout college and the NFL, there is sort of a compacted like throwing motion release, a simplified throwing motion. His is very complicated. It's like it's a whole wind up, like I said, like he's pitching.
Yeah,
and you cannot be really consistently accurate when you're throwing the ball that way. And I don't know if that's something that somebody's ever tried to coach out of him, or they just try to, because he's been so physically gifted over his entire life, that they just sort of let it go because he was, putting up big numbers. But
and I think something that people don't tend to pay enough attention to is kind of the Andy Dalton effect.
Yeah.
Is he going to be, because the offensive line was so bad last year, is he going to be seeing ghosts in the pocket this year?
Yeah, I don't know.
Andy Dalton.
I would hope not. I really think the offensive line gets a lot of is way better than some people give it credit for. I think we have some dudes that can play. I mean, I feel really good about our tackles, but I still think we have talented guys. We're probably thin on the interior, but I think our best five are going to be very good.
So let me ask you this, because
it's a depth thing.
The fan base in Clemson seems to be split pretty much down the middle, as far as I can tell. Like, some people are just done with DJ. They're just like, I hope he gets benched, and let's move on to Cade right now. The other people think that he should get another chance, like Volusia Orange just said. Where do you guys fall on that? Because first of all, I want to say this. I'm the best case scenario for me. I'm rooting for DJ. I like him as a kid. I like him as a football player. I would like to see him succeed. So the best case scenario is he wins and plays well, and we don't have to worry about Cade starting this year.
That's what I'm rooting for.
And Cade can start next year. DJ can go to the NFL and be a top 3 round draft pick, right?
Yeah, that's the best case scenario. But there's some people that are, they're just done with him already.
Look, I mean, I think that the first, he's going to get 4 games, right? Just as Slim said, just as Kelly did. He's going to get 4 games, and if he looks, whether we see 2020 DJ again, fantastic. If we see 2021 DJ again, and he looks like an absolute disaster out there, it's going to be time to pull the plug, and we'll see how it goes, right?
Yeah, I agree.
The problem with giving him the first 4 games, though, looking at your first 4 games, there's not one good defense on that schedule.
Well, that works in the favor too, because then you can play.
He wasn't good against the bad defenses we played.
That's correct.
He threw for like 150 yards on Wake Forest.
I think that's correct. I think that's a good that they're playing 4 teams that they're going to most likely destroy, because then you can put Cade Klubnik in there and get him some real playing time and not have to worry about losing the football game.
Yeah,
and so it can be.
I don't know if they'll destroy Wake Forest, but the other
games. DJ's going to take 70% of the snaps at most in the first 4 games. No, Cade's getting in just the same way Trevor did. His freshman year. Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
we'll get to watch it play out on the audition in real time on the field.
Right. DJ never threw from. DJ was not good in pretty much. Like he didn't have big passing numbers in any of the games we played. I think his best passing performance was against Louisville, and he threw for like 220 yards or something like that. He never had a 300-yard game last year. So even against the soft teams,
his freshman year, he broke the all-time passing record in Notre Dame Stadium. Insane.
Yeah.
Well, Paxton, he did not look good in the spring game at all, but to his credit, the offense in general didn't look very good in the spring game, and the defense was just so much more dominant. So it was really hard.
We had so many guys out.
Yeah,
that defense too.
Yeah,
it just wasn't.
A lot of guys didn't play. Oh,
No,
spring. You can never learn shit from spring games. They're the most worthless as far as evaluating a team or a player.
Right.
I mean,
Well, as far as a Miami fan, I hope they both look like ass. That way your defense
Yeah.
is good and wore out by November. 'Cause that's
Yeah.
about the only shot Miami's got at winning that game.
Like Alabama fans know how much spring games can be deceiving. Like Ajayi Hall had a phenomenal spring game, and everyone was talking about how he was going to put up 1,000 yards as a freshman and stuff, and now he's not even at Alabama. So spring games mean absolutely nothing.
yeah. Yeah, Alabama fans running around bragging about winning their spring game. Yeah.
I mean, Miami's defense won the spring game. The offense obviously looked better last year, but the defense still won. So, not particularly concerned about it.
We feel the same way.
Oh, Minka Fitzpatrick just got extended.
Hunter Renfrow got a huge extension. Cheers to Hunter Renfrow, by the way. Raising my glass of wine to Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah, cheers to Hunter Renfrow, my friend.
Best slot receiver in the league.
Yeah.
Sticking with the Clemson show theme, by the way, how do you guys feel about the baseball coach they just hired?
I love the hire.
Is it the Michigan guy?
Coach.
Yeah.
Michigan coach.
I thought you guys told me last week that they were going after the Notre Dame coach. What happened with that?
That was
It's either him or the Michigan coach.
Oh.
That was after Florida State. That was before Florida State fired their coach, and I was like, okay, well, we're probably not getting him then. But yeah, so now we got Eric. I don't know how to Eric Backett.
Yep.
Well,
But he's been extremely successful at Michigan, and I think it's
the Big Ten is a terrible baseball conference, and he's managed to make Michigan pretty good. So that's good.
Damn good. They were the runners-up to Vanderbilt a few years back in the College World Series. So I think, I'm optimistic about it. I think it's a good hire. It's a guy who's had a lot of success in, as you said, Luke, a terrible baseball conference. And so, let's see.
He was a former Jack Leggett assistant too. So I mean, that's kind of where the Clemson connection is, and we're paying him like almost triple what he was getting at Michigan.
Whoa, God, really?
Yeah, he was only making like $400,000 a year.
Again, the Big Ten is basically like a Group of 5 conference in baseball.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. See, I didn't know that either.
The Big Ten is the AAC in baseball.
The Big Ten got 2 teams in the tournament this year.
Yeah.
And the only reason Michigan got in was because they won the Big Ten.
Ooh.
Yeah. We're paying,
right? Maryland was like 44 and 15.
Yeah. I'm glad to see the athletic department still cares about baseball. It's nice.
I care about it quite a lot, so I'm glad to see that as well.
Even though I don't really care, I mean, of course, I want Clemson to be successful in all sports, but I feel sort of the same way about the baseball program as I do about the basketball program. It's just this whole thing where you accept mediocrity is not going to fly with me.
Right.
There's no reason.
We have a much different history in baseball than we do in basketball.
Yeah, sure.
It's just a school that has unfortunately, we have a lot of obstacles to overcome in our conference and just in the national landscape of basketball. But in baseball, we are a program, despite lacking a national championship, we're a program with a sustained history of success. And I think that we're still, a program that attracts high-level talent, high-level coaching. We have a lot more gravitas in terms of our baseball program than we do in basketball.
Yeah, I know that, but I still think I don't want to get on the basketball subject. That's a whole different story. But I still believe that the bar needs to be raised in the basketball program. I'm not saying they have to be North Carolina or Duke. I'm just saying what they've been doing for the past 12 years is just pitiful.
What they've been doing in their history is pretty pitiful.
Yeah, well, at least in my lifetime, there's been a couple of good runs there. I mean, decent runs for Clemson. I'm not talking about national championship runs, but
2018 was.
I was watching the history of the ACC tournament show recently, and it really reminded me how pitiful Clemson's basketball was.
Hey Luke, Buckner jams. All right, Buckner jams.
Now, speaking of baseball skews, in true, and this will surprise nobody, but in true Miami man fashion. Our buddy Pinecone puts up a poll, and like 90% of the people that voted in it said Gino DeMar should be fired because he lost in the regionals.
Go ahead.
Good God.
I bet you could quiz them on where they were ranked going into the tournament, and they wouldn't know.
Yeah. They probably would.
Because they were really good this year. They just lost. And Ole Miss just went to the College World Series.
Yeah,
by the way,
I know.
So Ole Miss was pretty good. They're playing pretty well.
South Carolina.
Well, and you've also seen. Go ahead, Jordan.
I was just saying, South Carolina had their first losing season in about 40 years or something like that, and they which is hilarious.
What I was going to say is you've also seen over the 3 or 4 years that Gino DeMar has been the head coach since he took over when Morris retired. You've seen a steadily progression up to this year where, he was ranked in the top 10 all year.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead and fire him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right?
I would not mind if y'all fired him.
The only one that I even might consider, and even to me, this is a little out there, but Larinaga has been so up and down.
He's also gotten really unlucky recently. Like half their team got injured 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Hey, Slim, what was the result of y'all's season this year?
In
the tournament?
Oh,
Basketball
they made it to the Elite Eight, yeah.
Okay, so you're going to fire him then?
No, I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying, he hasn't made the tournament for 2 years.
Again, there were times last year where Miami was playing with 6 scholarship players.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that I would even be behind that. That's the only one I could see an argument for, because this is really this is the first good year they've had since they won the ACC. That year they made it to the Sweet 16, I think.
Should have lost to Carolina in the ACC championship.
Carolina was pretty not very good all year, and then ended up going to the championship game. No.
Well, they were pretty not good for Carolina standards. A lot of teams would love to do what we did during season.
I get that, but given the talent, it was pretty much an underachieving season up until March, right?
It was disappointing by Carolina standards. We were still 23-8.
We should have beat y'all in Little John this year, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
Our problem last year is that we'd either blow someone out or get blown out.
Yeah.
Kentucky beat the hell out of us, and that's just not acceptable for Carolina.
Pitt beat the hell out of you.
That turned our season around, too.
Pitt is awful.
I think we lost one game after that. Or 2, I guess, because national championship was a game.
When's the first game in the CWS? Has that happened already?
It's this weekend.
This weekend, okay.
There's only one ACC team, unfortunately.
Yep.
Yeah.
Notre Dame.
Notre.
So
it's weird. So apparently, I just read this just a few hours ago. So there was a guy who's a Texas A&M grad who was meant to sing the national anthem. He's sung the national anthem at many games.
I heard about this.
Oh yeah.
But he gave the horns down signal.
Oh yeah, that was the women's College World Series.
I'm sorry, get the fuck out of here, man. Come on.
Yeah, what is it with Texas to getting all this special privilege? They get rules made for them, and
fuck that.
I mean, why
go to Texas right now and throw the horns down in their stadium?
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand though. Well, I don't get it. I don't understand why every team does something to sort of offend the other team, but for some reason the horns down gets all the attention, and they actually.
There's a hilarious clip of during this baseball season. They lost to Texas State in a midweek game, and the closing pitcher strikes the last guy out and just throws the horns down for 30 seconds straight.
He should.
Yeah, right.
But of course, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, and Texas are all in the College World Series. And you know what? Normally, I would probably support Texas out of those 3 teams. But after this shit, you know what? I hope they get their ass blasted.
Who was the coach? Was it Herman, the one that freaked out when the other players threw the horns down and he started yelling at the refs about it? It was Herman, wasn't it?
That probably was Tom Herman.
Yeah, I think it was.
Sounds like a Tom Herman thing to do.
Yeah, he was crying like a little baby because it was somebody was putting the horns down. And he's crying to the refs about it.
Give Tom Herman another bottle and drop him off at another strip club.
Doesn't Tom?
I'll give Miami this. At least their fans aren't soft enough to act like people should be penalized for putting the U down.
Yeah, right. That is true. That's a good point there.
Imagine if Dave Doran was Texas's coach. We might have a supernova of whininess.
Oh God.
Well, NC State.
Well, we already do. That's kind of the problem.
Yeah, NC State already has their version of the horns thing when they do the Wolfpack hand thing or whatever.
Dave Dave Jordan at his football camp, I heard, said they had App State as a guest, and he said they're the only 2 real football programs in North Carolina.
Oh.
All right,
which is hilarious because NC State has like a 30% winning percentage against Carolina.
Now, Luke, I know you think that NC State in general has an overinflated opinion of themselves.
Agreed.
Okay. I'm really starting to think West Virginia's worse.
No, man.
Well,
NC State is the most rink-dink program in the country. They are worthless. They're worth jack shit. They had 1 10-win season in their entire history. They are garbage. They are absolutely.
Does West Virginia claim wins in games that weren't played?
And Miami has more national championship losses than West Virginia has 10-win seasons.
Damn.
But they think they're one of the greatest programs of all time.
Well, I guess they're a little bit closer because West Virginia is at least
Virginia's accomplished more than NC State.
Yeah, West Virginia is like top 20 all time in wins.
NC State is more like South Carolina, just absolute.
Not
garbage.
even.
At least South Carolina knows they're trash, but hey, NC State is just absolute rinky-dink trash, man.
I get your point about being top 20 all time in wins, but if you started 50 years before another school, you got a bit of an advantage.
Well, I'm not arguing West Virginia over a team like Miami or Florida State, the teams that had programs like. But West Virginia still has some history.
Again, West Virginia has accomplishments. NC State does not.
Yeah.
We're about to look at them.
Has an Orange Bowl, unfortunately. We don't have to talk about that.
Listen, I mean, nobody will argue with Miami. Miami was good for 20 years. You got 3 2.5 national championships, and that's awesome, and we respect that. And shit, 2001 Miami was maybe the greatest team of all time, maybe. But, obviously better than West Virginia or Pitt or any of these shitty Big East programs.
I'm going to need you to correct yourself, sir. We don't have any split titles.
National title.
1991?
That's not a split title.
No, it's not?
No, it's not. And really and truly, they won it in 92. They just didn't get it because nobody liked them. Literally, the AP put out
Washington.
The AP literally put out a statement saying that yes, Miami's the best team in the nation, but they didn't deserve to win the national title, even though we absolutely obliterated Texas in the Cotton Bowl.
Okay, but so you're saying that Washington doesn't have a share for that national championship?
No,
but they do. Well, they claim it, and they
claim it, so it's shared.
They claim it. They claim it. It's just as legitimate as the one poll that Alabama won in it in 47.
No, I mean,
it's literally the same exact thing.
They were named.
Miami got it in all three. Miami got it in all 3 major polls.
No, Washington was number 1 in the coaches poll.
That's
Look at this here.
Was it the coaches? I thought it was like the Harris poll where they got it.
No, it was a legitimate national championship claim.
Well, the Harris was considered legitimate back then.
Well, there's a lot, but I'm talking about they were named national champion by a premier national championship selector. The coaches poll.
Look.
Thank God we don't do that dumbass shit anymore.
All right, I'm not trying to denigrate Miami. I will denigrate Miami now, but no, back then, Miami was legit.
I'm not saying I don't say half for if a team shares a national championship.
I'm just giving him.
I don't know how people got into college football when they just writers picked a national champion. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life.
It's just
that is stupid, and then obviously you can just buy. You can buy a national championship that way.
And all these writers have biases, so I'm
pre-1950. I mean, there was 35 different polls.
Sure. I mean, in 1970, Richard Nixon said Texas was the national champion, and so it was decreed. Like, that was it. So.
Look at this here at West Virginia. Now, this is shocking. All-time record 769 and 514 and 45.
Yeah, I told you.
So,
they've won a
so that's 60%, 59.6% winning record, which is pretty good. But then look below that. Their bowl record is abysmal. 16 and 23, 41% winning percentage in bowls.
I've seen a lot worse, honestly.
Yeah.
What's their winning percentage in bowls?
41%.
I've seen a lot worse.
Hey, Pete,
State's only been to 32 bowls ever. That's
awesome. Hey, Pete, when did South Carolina make their first bowl?
1992, I think. Right?
Is that true?
It was in the 90s.
Wait a minute. They didn't make a bowl when they won the ACC in 69 or 70?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. And maybe.
Well, no.
That was.
They did make a bowl game. They lost.
They
won their first bowl game.
There you go. So the 90s was the first time that they've ever won one. That's right.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
CarQuest.com bowl, I think it was.
Yeah. Yep. Was it? Who was Todd?
I think
Ellis
about it against West Virginia, ironically.
Who was the quarterback then? Was it Todd Ellis or no?
Yeah,
or maybe it was Steve Tannehill.
What's his name? It's Tannehill.
Yeah, it was Steve Tannehill. Yeah.
Hold on, what's the highest NC State's ever ranked? Give me a guess. Ever been ranked?
Like 7
or
8?
Finally?
No, I don't.
Final
think
ranking. What's their highest final ranking?
Yeah, I don't think they have a top 10.
2002. 2002. They beat Notre Dame in the Gator Bowl. They were 10-3.
It was not 2002.
That's the answer. It wasn't 2002.
Actually, West. Oh God, what was it? No, it wasn't 07. I don't know. Never mind.
Look at this.
Well, with nothing reason.
1974. Their final AP poll rank was 11th. That's their highest ever.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, I don't think they have a top 10 finish.
So look at this. South Carolina is only 22 games in history above 500. So there's 622 and 644, which is a 50.9 winning percentage. And their bowl record is 10 and 4.
Better than NC State.
Yeah, actually it is. The bowl record is 10 and 14. So
I don't know Miami's all-time record. I couldn't tell you.
I'm looking at NC State. So
our bowl record is what, 25 and 22 or something like that, I think. We actually have a winning bowl record.
This says the South Carolina. Now, of course, this is Wikipedia. Not everything on here is 100%.
Are you on Wikipedia or Wikipedia?
This is Wikipedia, I think. I don't know. Which one am I on?
Somebody look up Miami's. I'm curious.
This is Wikipedia.
Their all-time winning percentage?
Yeah, I have no clue what it is.
But this says that South Carolina's rivalries are Clemson, Georgia, North Carolina, and Missouri. Is that true? North Carolina is one of them?
Kind of.
I mean,
they refuse to come to Chapel Hill, so they're kind of scared.
Yeah. Let's see. Miami's
all-time winning percentage, 63%.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll take it.
Five national championships.
Bowl record is 19 and 22.
What kind of rivalries are Wofford, the Citadel, and SC State?
Missouri. I didn't know Missouri was a rival of South Carolina either.
Well, it's become kind of one since they've been in the SEC. But
yeah,
Wikipedia says Wake Forest is our rival. Are they really?
Well, yeah, Wikipedia. I mean,
yeah, I think we've given a lot Texas A&M a lot of shit, but I appreciate them for their dominance over the game.
Well, Wikipedia says NC State is your rival. Do you agree with that, Clemson fans?
I agree. In the traditional definition of rival, yes, but I don't.
Are the Washington Generals rivals of the Harlem Globetrotters?
I can tell you this: the two schools and fan bases hate each other. So I guess
everyone hates NC State fans.
Well, yeah, but they particularly hate Clemson, and I'm sure North Carolina too. But
it's funny because the actual institutions get along really well. Clemson and NC State as institutions get along really well, but the fan base and everything.
Well, the institutions they're ag schools, so they're they do
a lot of stuff together.
They have a lot of common interest. Let's say, yeah. But sports wise, no.
Yeah, no.
No, Clemson and North Carolina's relationship is a give and take, right? You suck against us in football and vice versa in basketball. Same for Clemson and Duke. But with NC State, it's different. They're just shit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, NC State throws a party whenever they beat Carolina in basketball. It's kind of hilarious to watch.
Well,
they beat us in football the first time since Phillip Rivers, and they fucking exploded, right? It's like...
Man, they've beaten us like 3 times this century. I don't get it. I don't get why. Man. And now they're so cocky. They're gonna walk into Death Valley and just do it again. I love it. I have so many bookmarked tweets.
NC State fans think they're going to make the playoffs.
I know they do, and they're putting their players under a tremendous amount of pressure that they shouldn't be under.
They all think Devin Leary's the best quarterback in the country. An
NC State fan told me that their linebackers were better than Alabama's. I was like, okay, you can't reason with these people.
They do have a pretty good linebacking core.
They have good
But-
linebackers.
Peyton Wilson was running for the cops. He looked pretty fast.
Faster than Baker Mayfield when he was running from the cops.
But their linebackers are good, but none of them are first round quality players, really. I think that, honestly, I think Peyton Wilson and Drake Thomas are the only ones I can see like realistically getting drafted at
Their
some
team
point.
is a really good NC State team. They might win 8 games.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm saying 9 wins.
NC State's winning
I feel 9 wins.
Carolina's worse than I thought.
They're
36%.
Yeah. I mean, because they're like, we bring back a ton of talent, but it's like, they're not all that great. I mean, you're still pretty thin team you're still going up against a lot of teams that are better than you talent wise. I mean, you're still susceptible to losing to a lot of teams in the ACC. I could totally see Louisville beating them this year. I could see Boston College beating them this year. It would not surprise me.
Yo, they literally told Russell Wilson to fuck off.
Because they didn't want to put him on their shitty baseball team.
Yeah.
Is that really why?
Baseball team, but they didn't want to let him play baseball and football, so they told him to screw off.
Yeah. So that's why he has some sort of disdain for NC State because he doesn't even mention like his affiliation.
They didn't let him play baseball.
I got you.
That's why he went and lost to Clemson 3 times.
3 years. He was their starting second baseman for 3 years, and then Tom O'Brien went from Boston College to NC State, and he told Russell, he said, "You got to commit fully to the football team and quit baseball." And he said, "Screw you, I'll transfer."
Yeah.
He was tired of losing to Clemson anyway.
Well, yeah. He was ACC Freshman of the Year. I remember he threw like 15 touchdowns and 1 pick his freshman year. He was amazing.
Yeah.
They just didn't beat us, obviously, but they were really good.
It's funny. He played for NC State for 3 years, right? And then, but if you
claims Wisconsin,
yeah, if you ask just the average college football fan on the street, not people like us who are super fans, but just the average fan, where Russell Wilson went to college, not 100% of them, they're all going to say Wisconsin.
Yeah. Unless they're NC State fan, then they'll all say NC State.
Well, yeah.
And they're quarterback you because they have Jacoby Brissett and Mike Glennon.
And Ryan Finley.
Yeah.
That's kind of a unique phenomenon because like when I think of a guy like Jalen Hurts, the first thing I think of is his time at Alabama. I really don't think of his Oklahoma.
Yeah, I do not think of him at Oklahoma at all.
Yeah, they didn't amount to shit in the pros, but I'd call Miami quarterback you over that.
NC State claims quarterback you because they have one good quarterback that claims them and then a bunch of backups.
Yeah. And Ryan
Russell Wilson doesn't claim him.
Is Ryan Finley on a roster right now?
I don't think so.
He's still in the Bengals?
He was, I don't think he's not in the Bengals anymore.
But they still have Jacoby Brissett, who's about to be starting quarterback for the Browns this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably.
We're not going to talk about that.
And Sky Cam Mike Glennon.
Yep. Right. Yeah, and then Rivers went to NC State.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one guy that we're talking about. Yeah.
That's who we're talking about.
That's the one good quarterback they have.
Okay.
None of their quarterbacks come even close to holding the jock strap of Charlie Whitehurst, though. So it doesn't matter.
I mean, I'll give Phillip Rivers this much. His number.
Yeah.
I'll give Phillip Rivers this much. His numbers are better than Eli Manning's, and Eli's going to make it to the Hall of Fame.
Well,
I believe Phillip.
I don't even know. Phillip Rivers is going to be a Hall of Famer. I'm not even.
Maybe.
I'm not sure. I think he should be, but I don't think it's a shoe-in that he is.
Rivers is a shoe-in. I think Manning is the question. Eli Manning is the questionable one.
I don't think Rivers is a shoe-in.
Manning will get it before Rivers does. I think that Manning will get it first ballot, but Rivers.
Well, Big Ben's better than both of them. No discussion.
No. If you look at Phillip Rivers' accolades, there's no way he's not getting in. I've seen quarterbacks have got in with less. Well, let me see. You see, eight-time Pro Bowler. That alone, he's going to make the Hall of Fame.
I don't think Eli should be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
Agreed.
He's fifth all time in passing yards and touchdowns.
He's won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, so he's gonna be in. So
yeah,
Manning will make it, despite the fact that he probably doesn't deserve it. Rivers definitely deserves it.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a question that Rivers is going to get in.
He deserves it, but
he'll get in.
But I hate him.
He'll get in.
Why do you hate him, Volusia?
Yeah, what do you hate him?
Bengals fan.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. How many times you beat the Bengals? A lot.
A lot.
Yeah. You know, Big Ben has more wins in the Browns Stadium than any Browns quarterback since 1999.
Yeah.
Ouch.
That stings.
Ooh.
Sorry, we got Joey B. I feel good about it.
Yeah. Steelers haven't beat the Bengals in like 2 years.
That's right.
It's depressing.
Destroyed y'all both games last year.
Okay.
Very cathartic.
Speaking
TJ
of
Watt was trying to carry Big Ben's corpse to the playoffs.
Speaking of teams that like to claim quarterbacks, the Ohio State still likes to claim Joe Burrow.
Yeah,
they do.
I'll never.
That's pretty sad too.
Well, if
At
they
least
have
Russell
to,
Wilson's good at NC State and played.
if they're going to claim Joe Burrow, then they have to take Tate Martell too.
Right.
What was Joe Burrow's best game at Ohio State?
He didn't have
The one where he played.
The one where he took a snap.
I think he handed the ball off like a couple times against like Kent State or something like, and threw like one touchdown pass. Like,
who was he playing behind? Dwayne Haskins?
Yeah, Dwayne Haskins.
Dwayne Haskins.
JT Barrett.
JT Barrett, then Dwayne Haskins.
JT Barrett. That's the one that would have pissed me off. I would have transferred too.
Hey, you remember what happened when JT Barrett started against Clemson?
Yeah.
Big nothing burger.
Yeah, he didn't score.
31-0 Ohio State University.
Yep.
The story is that so Dabo Swinney recruited JT Barrett and Deshaun Watson, and Urban Meyer recruited Deshaun Watson and JT Barrett. Clemson got the better of the deal out of those two guys.
By far.
That's right. Yeah.
JT Barrett didn't. Whatever happened to him?
How many massages did JT Barrett got?
He's a wide receiver.
Hey.
Yeah. What team?
Is he?
Yeah. What?
I don't think he is.
He's not fast enough to be wide receiver.
Is he even in
That's
football
Braxton
now?
Miller.
I'm sure he's very happy with whatever he's doing, and I wish him the best. All right, but
he was on the Steelers practice squad for like a week last year.
Yeah, I don't think he's in the league anymore, is he?
Well, he was on the he was in the CFL.
Yeah.
This year.
Okay. Well,
let me look at this. I'm looking JT Barrett up.
I'll probably see JT Barrett in China next year.
He'll be playing football. He's on the Edmonton Elks in the Canadian Football League.
Football League.
The Edmonton Elks.
But it just said
formerly the Edmonton Eskimos.
But typically it says 2022 to present when he's still on the right. Is he still on like there though? Like now? I wonder.
You can't say that word anymore, Luke.
Oh, yeah.
Eskimo?
On May 6, 2022, the Elks announced they had moved Barrett to the retired list.
You can't say Eskimo anymore?
Yeah.
No.
So he retired? Oh, yeah, that's why they did change their name, because it's something offensive.
Canada changed it to First Nations peoples
Or
or
is
something.
aren't they like Inuits?
No, that's not offensive. That's
No, according to Justin Trudeau, it's First Nations.
Oh.
That's not true. The First Nations has been a thing for a long time, but okay.
Fuck 'em, I still say Indian.
Okay.
Cancel me, bro.
No.
Speaking of name changes, I feel like Washington football team is better named.
They called themselves First.
Yeah,
First Nations.
I agree with that. Why did they should have just left it the Washington football team? Like, what are they doing?
Actually, they should have went by the poll. They actually polled Indians in America, and it was a bunch of white people that were offended by the name Redskins.
But let's say, okay, they have to change it for whatever reason. But why the Commanders is just a terrible name.
It is, and their logo sucks.
I don't know which one's worse, the Commanders or whatever the hell the Cleveland Indians.
Oh, what are they?
Guardians is actually caught on now. It's not
Guardians is fine.
The Guardians. Oh.
Guys,
it's
come on.
Fucking stupid.
It's fine.
It is stupid.
I really don't care. No, it really doesn't matter. I don't know why people get upset about it.
Although
Guardians is way better than Commanders.
I do like trolling Florida State with the possibility of it happening to them.
As long as they
it's
have
always hilarious that people talk about the Braves doing the tomahawk chop, and nobody said anything about Florida State or the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because every time it comes up about Florida State, they say, "Well, we have the backing of the Seminole tribe."
Because it's those racist Southerners that are doing the
I don't even know how much of that is true.
Okay, but I feel
They
like
have-
there's a line we can walk here, right? There's a line we can walk. Okay, so the Redskins. Let's be honest, guys. Like maybe Slim disagrees because he's an old man, but the Redskins probably.
The Redskins is a little too far.
It's a bit. It's a bit on the nose, right?
It's a bit much.
Actually, no. Look at. They literally polled Native American tribes, and they said no. It's actually a term of endearment. They were fine with it. It's a bunch of white people with their panties in a twist.
Exactly. Well, to be fair, I don't poll. Polls are kind of.
Well, and I'm not saying they're the end all be all, but
a lot of natives are not completely are not like a lot of them are white or identify or.
Well, and here's the thing: you're not going to find 100% agreement across the board anyway, because to the Florida State point, yes, they do have the permission from the Seminole tribe of Florida, but they don't have the permission from the Seminole tribe of Oklahoma.
Right, but I think Seminoles is a little bit different from Redskins. Redskins is a little bit on the nose, don't you think?
It's a little bit too far.
I think you need to dig that wedgie out.
More on the nose than Seminole.
Okay, so Indians.
Redskins is the one where it's like I can completely understand why someone wouldn't like that.
Braves and Chiefs, I can defend. Indians, Redskins, I can't defend that.
I don't think it needs defending. It is what it is. Dig out that wedgie and get over it.
Maybe it might not should be the name of an NFL team.
Fucking panty waist ass society, so offended by everything.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know what's
the Blackskins. Would you be cool with that?
The Blackskins.
You wouldn't care, but it's not about you.
Okay,
it's
fine.
Not about you.
Guess what? If it's an Irish team, I'm Irish. Call them the Mix. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, we have that Notre Dame. All right.
So, who cares? Get over your feelings.
Okay. Right. I feel like I don't need to expound upon this. I feel like we're some of us have our.
At some point, you can't just say "who cares" to
I don't
everything.
really need to.
Yeah, I absolutely can.
You can, but not everybody can.
Yeah,
and I don't think everybody should just.
You'll find me $100K, bro.
Some things. So,
listen, I just would say about that. It's been well known the NFL is a different job. Nowhere else do you get fined $100K for wearing your socks too low, but they do that in the NFL. So the NFL can really fine you for whatever the hell they want.
Well, the NFL didn't fine him. His own organization did.
Right. Yeah.
Which is, I mean, whatever. It is what it is. I mean, first of all, to Jack Del Rio, $100,000 is like $20 to me or you. So it's not that big of a deal, but it's just the principle, though.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I
people
agree
in the
with
NFL get fined for less.
I agree with you. No matter the opinion, you shouldn't be fined for it.
Really?
Well,
really.
Hold on a second. What if an NFL assistant coach came out and said, "Yeah, Hitler was right. Holocaust didn't happen"? Yeah?
That's his opinion. See, here's the problem. Since you want to go down this road, here's the problem. We have been going over this now for 3 years, and I'll give you a perfect example because the NFL promoted this. They say there's absolutely no room for racism in this country anymore. I agree with everybody 1,000% that racism is abhorrent, but this is a free fucking country, and you can think whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're not criminal. No one's criminalizing racism. But
he's not going to jail.
If that's his opinion, he's allowed to have it.
Because he has an opinion doesn't mean he should say it to the media.
They asked him a question about it. They directly asked him a question about it.
Let me ask you this. What if Jack Del Rio came out and said that he believes that the earth is flat? Should he be fined for that? I mean, that's offensive to science. Right? So if I'm a scientist, I'm offended by the flat the fact that he thinks the earth is flat.
Trust me, we don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. Scientists don't have a collective like.
But wait a minute, I just got told 2 minutes ago you can't hold the stance. I just don't care. And that's
I didn't
exactly
say
the
you.
stance you're holding.
I never said. Nobody said you couldn't have the stance.
I mean,
Other
see,
people don't have that stance.
that's where I have a problem is the double standards and hypocrisy.
That wasn't a double standard. There wasn't. That wasn't. I didn't say you can't say you.
This freedom mirage bullshit is exactly that. If Nick Saban or anybody else, Mario Cristobal, that's a bad example. If anybody who worked for any company came out and was videotaped on camera saying N-word, 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 other racial slurs, blah, 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 whatever. They get
wouldn't
fired.
care.
They should be, no, they would
Well,
get
you can.
fired because they would get fired because their company doesn't want that person representing their company.
Sure.
Yeah, private companies.
If somebody that worked for me did that, I'd fire him too. I mean,
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Guess what? It's not your natural born right to have a job.
Is that, but you don't have the right to just
nobody's
whatever
saying
you
that.
want. You have the First Amendment says
But when
you can say
he
whatever you want,
he is asked a question in a press conference and then
You are allowed to say no comment.
All right, so here's
I'm
the-
only talking about football today.
This whole thing, this whole thing boils down to freedom of speech does not mean freedom of conscience.
all right, so I think we all understand. This is going to be this is going to be the last we say about it. But it's not. We know that the team has the ability and the right to do it. Fine employees or whatever. That's not the argument. The argument is, where do you draw the line on what you can and can't say to either get fined or not get fined? Who's deciding that?
Exactly.
No, well, the people that run the
NFL
company,
contract
and
says they
make
can
a
fine you
business
for whatever the hell they want to do.
I'm not, Luke, we're not saying they can't do it.
You agree to.
So they decided.
Yeah, you agree to be subject to fines and stuff when it's in your contract.
Goes into conduct detrimental to the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's right.
And whatever they deem conduct detrimental to the team, they can fine you.
If I work for a real estate company, and then the boss wants to fire me because I got caught in a candid moment saying some racist or weird shit, right? He can fire me because he doesn't want me representing his company. That's capitalism.
Nobody's saying that they can't fire you. Nobody's making that claim
So why
whatsoever.
is a fine so such a big problem? I would imagine getting fined is much more preferable than losing.
Getting fired
because exactly like I said, the double standards and hypocrisy is the problem.
Where is the double standard?
They have
he
fine
agreed
people for less. That's the thing.
Yeah,
they fine coaches for saying the officiating was bad. They can fine you for whatever the hell they want.
You agree to that kind of stuff when you take the job.
But if he went into that, no, what I'm talking about is if he went to the press conference and went the other way with his comments, it would have been perfectly fine and acceptable. And that's exactly what me and Peter are talking about.
And we don't
the double standards and hypocrisy.
No. What does that mean? What is the other way? What does that mean?
That if he went with the mainstream narrative of January 6th is the end of the fucking world and 2020 was completely okay and justified.
And if they don't deem that detrimental to the team, they're not going to fine them.
Like I said, that's double standards and hypocrisy.
It's not double standards. It's up to his boss.
That's absolutely double standards.
It's up to his boss.
That's totally up to the discretion of the team. It's not like
he agreed that his bosses could fine him for whatever.
And I'm not debating that it's up to the
Again, guys. I'm about to start muting people. Because everyone's talking over each other, and I got to go in a minute anyway. But nobody's disputing whether or not they can or can't do it. It's just whether or not you agree with whether or not they should. That's the whole point.
Let me say this. Slim, the other way would be if they had given him a raise for saying what he said. Or a bonus.
No. As a matter of fact, it's not. The other way would have been going with what everybody else is parroting and following along like a bunch of sheep.
Wrong.
He thinks opposite, and he's fine for it. Like I said, there have been plenty of coaches, there have been plenty of players come out and said it went down the line, said the same exact thing in unison about those events. Nobody was fined. Nothing was said. Somebody expresses a different opinion, and they are fined. That's the problem.
If he had worked for Fox News, he would have gotten a raise. If he would have worked for Fox News and said the opposite, he would have got fired.
I'm not talking about Fox News. I'm talking about the NFL.
We're talking about the that doesn't support Fox News' bullshit. Simple as that.
Okay, and nobody supports your bullshit either. So what's your point?
Well, the NFL does, doesn't they?
That's fine, and they can. And guess what? That's
You're
why.
mad about
That's
it.
why
So
they're.
then,
No, I'm not mad at all.
Why are you upset then?
Like I said, hypocrisy. I don't like hypocrites.
Hypocrisy. They have a stance, and they have a stance on this stuff, and that's
yes,
how
and
they,
everybody has a different opinion.
Okay.
I mean, neither one of y'all like Josh Allen because he come out and defended him. He doesn't care what he said. Everybody's got an opinion.
I don't like or dislike Jack Del Rio or Josh Allen for that. I don't necessarily like or agree with their opinion, but it doesn't mean I dislike them. I'm not coming out. It's not my say. It's not any of our say what someone's boss.
It's your boss.
Unless it is violating like human rights.
That goes against your boss's profit margin, he's going to fine you or fire you, and that's the end of it. And that's what's happening in the NFL, and that's what's happening on Fox and everywhere in America. And so to whine about how it's bipartisan or hypocritical is complete bullshit, dude.
No, it's complete facts.
We're going to have to all just, I think at this point, agree to disagree.
But I'm also
because I have to go.
I'm
Now,
also going to take with a grain of salt the opinion that of somebody that defends the CCP that killed 50 million people.
Nobody defends. I don't do that.
Okay, you've done it dozens of times on this show.
When?
Stop.
I've never heard him defend the CCP.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's pretty much said that the government is what it is, but he supports the people.
He defends the people and the culture of China.
But anyway, guys, I got to go. I'm telling you, you guys can stay in the back room and argue for the rest of the day if you want to, but I actually have to leave.
All right. Let's turn it down. Pete, love you
now,
guys.
yes,
love you
listen.
too, man. No worries.
Yes, I think we all love each other.
I don't dislike anybody, includes Blue Orange. He's an awesome dude.
Yeah.
I feel the same way, Slim. Love you too, my man.
All right, guys.
Dandy supports the CCP though.
Yes, and Sea-Dog says that the Redskins should have changed their names to the Caucasians. That would have made everything better.
They should have changed it to the Reskins.
All right, guys. I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks for coming on.
All right,
All right, guys. Well, that was interesting, to say the least. Man, I feel like I just got like I just worked out or something. That was exhausting. Anyway, thanks everybody that showed up today. I appreciate all of you. What did we learn today? Well, we learned that we have been detecting signals from outer space. And the aliens, if they are visiting here, they're not messing with us because they realize that there's still people stupid enough on this planet that think the Earth is flat. So we haven't reached the level of intelligence for them to be worth our time, or for us to be worth their time at this point. And I think that might be all we learned today. That's it. I'll be back tonight at 10 o'clock for the call-in show, and we can continue some more of these shenanigans. What do you think? Go Tigers. What time is it? I'll be tuned into something. I'll be tuned into Twitter around 2:30 to see if our boy Vic Burley, I think his name is Vic Burley, does indeed commit to the Clemson Tigers. We'll see. All right, guys, I'll see you tonight. You're all amazing and fantastic. Have a good day.